Okay, so hi. I'm starting up a new series finally. For the last few years, I have literally had the same New Year's resolution to just post more on socials. I feel like I have such good content. I'm constantly thinking of a good idea for content. I film it, but then I just never edit and post it. And so I'm trying to crack out of that shell. I had started up a little while ago on like YouTube. I had even popped on TikTok at a point back when I did like a lot more maternity content. But my son's 3 now, and a big thing that stopped me between maternity content and now is the fact that having a baby slash toddler typically is loud, and I was blessed with a very expressive toddler, if you can't hear him in the background. And so yeah, I figured I'm not going to let having some extra background noise deter me from making content, because he's likely going to continue to be this loud, and he's supposed to be living with me for at least the next 15 years. So I'm not going to use that as an excuse anymore. I'm going to just create it. Sorry in advance for any background noise you hear. Hopefully I won't have to stop too much, or the editing won't get crazy, but regardless, here it is. If you want the shortened versions of what I'm going to talk about in each video, you can follow me on Instagram, and I might even post on TikTok again, just so you can get like the clear cut, no extras version of the reviews. But I'm a yapper. I love research. I love details and all that. So this video could possibly get a little lengthy because I like to go into deep detail, especially with something like perfume, because these perfumes typically range from like $85 to $400. And if I'm gonna spend that much money on something that like is like a I don't know how to describe it, but it's a usable item, but it's something that will run out eventually. If I'm gonna spend that much on it, I want to make sure that it's something that is truly like valuable, that I would value, and that I would actually use. So that being said, this video is going to be a little longer as well, because I'm going to go into just kind of my own perfume journey, like how I acquire these perfumes, the differences between different types of perfumes, and then I'm going to actually do a review of 2 perfumes that I think were awesome Valentine scents. Valentine's Day just passed, so I figured this is a good place to start as far as going through my collection, especially before I acquire some new scents before the spring really kicks off. So my reason for doing this is because I started liking perfumes in college. My mom really put me on to like really good perfumes. She's a mom. She's always getting the good stuff. I used to be on the Victoria's Secret, like Bath and Body Works kind of vibes. But for one, my skin is crazy sensitive, and I like physically can't wear that stuff anymore. The sprays, sure, I mostly stick to like Victoria's Secret body spray, but I started like working, when I was a server, we really couldn't wear a lot of scents, and if you did, it couldn't be very strong or overpowering. Bartending didn't matter as much, but I mean, by the end of the night, you're definitely smelling more like bar than you are like Victoria's Secret. And then I became a teacher. I became a mom. I started working. Well, I worked from home for about a year while I stayed home with my son. And then I moved into a classroom setting shortly after when I got my master's program. So I really got into like scents, like long lasting good scents, and wearing them every day because I work around kids. I'm constantly hugging them and bumping up against people. And it makes me feel so much more professional to have on my nice, business casual outfits, but also have the scent to back it. And so again, my mom started gifting me some, and then I got into Scentbird, and that's how I started getting exposed to even more scents, not just the typical ones that we hear of like Chanel and Mugler and Dior and all of the designer brands, also some of the other just high quality brands and scents that might not be as known, and I'll get into more of those in like other videos. So yeah, I'm going to attempt to make at least one of these videos a week, covering at least one scent. Scentbird works to where I get one new scent every month, but I have more scents than my Scentbird ones, so hopefully I'll be able to keep up with it once a week, at least for a while. Another thing I'm gonna focus on is like finding ways to be budget friendly when it comes to scents. I'm gonna assume if you clicked on this video, like yes, you're probably in the the spending bracket to get perfumes. But if you're like me, like, you know, I'm a mom taking care of a lot of other expenses. You know, I have a great job, but it's not there to just go to perfume. There's lots of other things I would love to spend my money on, but I have found ways to work it into my budget that I think is useful for other people like me. And yeah, so before I get into the two perfumes that I want to actually talk about, I want to kind of go over really quick the difference of level of perfume. So there's Eau Fraiche or Eau Fraiche. I'm probably going to mispronounce a lot of things because I'm quickly learning that so much of the perfume industry is deeply rooted in France and Rome and just other European places, which I already knew, but as far as pronunciation goes, that's not my strong suit. So sorry in advance if I mess up any of these names. Help me out, educate me, send me some pronunciations down below. I'm really good at learning things like language, and as I do this series, I'm sure it will get better. But that first level, Eau Fraiche, it's only an hour long type of essence. I feel like it's probably the body spray of like perfumes. Also, I will probably alternate between parfum and perfume. Parfum is the French version, but obviously I'm American, so I'm used to perfume. They have Eau de Cologne, which is 2 hours of essence, and I don't think I've ever had either of those two levels. Once I got into perfume, my whole point of getting into it was for it to last through a work day, so I've never had those two levels, but this next one is one that I like because it gives you a longevity, but it's also more affordable, and it's the Eau de Toilette. I actually have Eau de Toilettes in some really good scents. Again, it makes it more affordable and it is still long lasting. It says 3 to 4 hours, but I've definitely been complimented at the end of a workday on my scent, and I don't usually reapply because in a school setting, once I have a scent on, I spray it on at home and you smell me, but spraying something as strong as perfume in a classroom is inappropriate and could, you know, harm students allergies wise and asthma wise, etc. So I don't reapply, but I will go run errands after work, or a kid will hug me at the end of the day, or somebody will walk past me and be like, wow, you really still smell good. Well, you smell good. They didn't know how I smelled at the beginning of the day, but you get it. Eau de Parfum is another level I've been on, highest level I've been on for sure. It's a 4 to 5 hour essence, and then there's perfume, or like parfum. And you know, like growing up, I thought everything was just perfume. So I'm like, oh yeah, this 24-hour stuff, this is what I got. No. That's another level. That's past my bracket. If you've had a parfum or perfume, please share the details, because obviously this is a goal of mine. If I'm not mistaken, like my mom has been into the Louis Vuitton scents. I do think they're parfums. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check that, and maybe my mom would be nice to me and let me review some of her scents, because my discography is like, hers is like here. Mine is good. Hers is up here with it. Okay, so I'm gonna see if she'll let me do some of her Louis scents, but I think they could be parfums. I mean, they're strong and they're good, and I wore one time and it was okay. It was good. So, all right, I'm gonna start off. I have 2 scents for Valentine's Day. One of them is what I ended up wearing for Valentine's Day, and then the next one is what I intended to wear, but then I forgot it. So first one I'm going to introduce you to is Valentino, born in Roma. How I found out about this scent, or like got interested, is I went into Ulta looking for just a scent to purchase. I really have had Ariana Grande's like Cloud little series on my brain for a long time, but then I got distracted and started sniffing around. I came across the Valentinos. So there's this clear bottle, excuse the top, I'll tell you more about that in a sec, but the Valentino like original, oh, I'm assuming this is the original, it's in the clear. There's also one in black. I loved both. I'm now realizing I think the black might be the cologne, like for men, but I love both scents. Like I would buy the black one for myself and wear it. But I was telling my sister-in-law that story about how like I smelled it, I loved it, and I just didn't end up committing to it. And she's like, oh, that's one of my favorite scents. Like it's one of her signatures. And so she had this bottle, the one I showed you without the top on it, and she was saying like she loves this one so much, like she never replaced it, but she has another one. So she's like, take this one. I mean, full bottle, right? And she's like, you can just put it in one of the atomizers. And I love that she said that, because my mom had just put me onto atomizers. They are literally these little travel perfume bottles, and all you do is like on the bottom there's a hole. It literally perfectly fits on here, and you just pump it until it's full. Mine is already full because I have been wearing the Valentino. This is what I actually end up wearing for Valentine's Day. But these are cheap on Amazon, probably at like Ross and all that. This one is personally my mom's. She had extra. Sorry, mama, if you see this. Thank you, girl. But yeah, they're pretty cheap, and if you come into a situation like this where you break off your top or something like that, or maybe you're traveling and you don't want to have to, like, maybe you don't have a check bag, or you're scared to bring your actual bottle because this is like a little glass crystal-y bottle, okay, you don't want to bring that with you, take an atomizer, put a label on the back, and you're good to go. The Valentino Born in Roma I have it in the Eau de Perfume, which is really, really nice. Like I said before, that this is like the highest level of perfume that I have. It retails for $170 for the 100 milliliter bottle, which is, you know, up there a little bit. I consider a super affordable like perfume between like, you know, $50 to $100 I think is affordable. $100 to $150 is nice, and then $150 and beyond is on the pricier side, and that's just for my own budget. I'm not saying that you shouldn't spend that much on it, because the next perfume I do is up there. But if you ever run into, like, you think something's too expensive, try the travel size first. You can get that typically for under $100. It's a decent size when you do a travel, because I think it's like a half ounce or something like that. I could be wrong, but it's a good way to try out a scent without committing that much to buying it. But again, I was gifted this one by my sister-in-law. Thank you, Niche. This falls under the amber floral like scent profile. The first description of it I give you is going to be straight from Valentino themselves, and then I'll come back with my comparison. So they say it's an amber floral because the floral scent is jasmine sambac or sambic. It's sweet, musky, and sultry, but that is that floral essence. Then they follow it up with cashmerean, and I'm like, okay, this research is fun because cashmerean is what? And it's really like the fancy way of saying cashmere, you know, but it's spicy and sensual. And this is the amber side of the perfume, which is what I love. Most of my perfumes will be amber based or even jasmine based because they're just so feminine to me. They give like such a sweet, sultry smell. But then Valentino's signature scent profile is vanilla bourbon, which I really like about this because it gives it that cologne smell. And I think that's why I like the black bottle, because the black bottle kind of leans more into this. It's a rich, leathery, and smoky smell. That's my favorite type of cologne scents. Like, I love just that deep, like, rich bourbon type of smell. And then the fact that they pair it with vanilla to make it feminine is just, it's their signature on purpose, right? Overall, they describe it as spicy, carnal, sensual, and distinctive, and I think that's true. Now, one thing that I will say about it is it has a slight like almost like a powdery tone, which I think is that sambic, that floral smell. It gives that powdery scent. I'm not a huge floral girl. I think it's pretty because you can wear it through spring and it's really nice. And then you can even kind of get into like that winter to spring vibe because it's heavier because of like the bourbon and the cashmere, but it's fresh enough to go into the spring. So the occasions that I would wear it for is Valentine's Day, obviously. Super, super perfect little like date night type of scent. And again, like that winter to spring, just going from like heavier scents and more sultry scents to floral scents. It's literally perfect. It has a subtle longevity because this is the Eau de Perfume version. Sorry. My son is going in right now. So sorry. But because it's the Eau de Perfume, mine definitely lasts my entire workday. Like, Kanan. As I was saying before, it has like a subtle longevity. I definitely feel like at the end of a workday, I still get like complimented on the scent or just get that, you know, ooh, you smell good type of vibe. I give it a 4 out of 5. Like I said, I'm not a floral girl. I wear them because I'm a grown-up. If you can stay quiet. I'm currently bribing with cookies. Here you go. Make sure you sit. Shh. Okay, so like I was saying, 4 out of 5 because I'm just not a floral girl. Like, I'm growing into it. You know, I realized, like, okay, girl, you're turning 30. You can't just smell like baby vanilla all the time. So I do give floral a chance. But I do really like the Valentino. I think it's worth the 170 for sure, especially if you need you a good like transition scent like after New Year's going into spring. I think it's awesome. And like I said before, you know, you can buy smaller sizes if you're not ready to commit to it, but I commit. Okay, now this one is gonna be a bit of a deep dive because this is the Maison Francis Cursion Paris Baccarat Rouge 540. Like it, yeah, this is that one. This is that girl that everybody has been on so heavy lately. I was gifted Miss Baccarat for my birthday, for my 28th birthday. She's definitely giving, as y'all can, she's giving grown, she's giving sexy, she's giving signature scent. Like, okay, let me get into it first before I give my own thoughts, right? Okay. I love the Baccarat. She is the moment. She's worth the hype. This one is in an Eau de perfume. It retails at $335 for a 2.4 fluid ounce. Okay, and when I say like I cherish her, the box is beautiful. Okay. I like most of my perfumes, now that I have a bit of a display for them, are out. This baby, she is still in her original packaging. I just am not ready to expose her to this cruel, cruel world. Okay. Slide her out this way. And that is her. This is actually going to be my scent for today. In the videos, I'm going to try to like actually wear each scent so I could give you my fresh take on it each time. But since I did two, I decided to wait. But yes, this baby is... This baby is... That's that girl. That's that girl, okay? I'm going to tell you once again a little bit about them based on what they posted on their actual like site. It's a crossover celebration of the crystal manufacturer's 250th birthday. So pretty much Maison Francis Curjon Paris and Baccarat Rouge merged together to come up with this. They have what they identify as like 4 main scents in here. And this was a complete learning curve because I had not heard of a couple of these scents, the 2 main ones. The first one is Hidion. Again, sorry if I mispronounce, I'm learning. This is a 1960s staple. It's a modifier used to amplify scents. And I get why Baccarat uses this because they are an amplified scent. Like, I don't consider Baccarat necessarily an everyday scent, depending on your profession. Like, maybe if I was like, in like a corporate law something, you know, Baccarat would be my main girl, but I work with 8-year-olds, and so she's a little more on my special occasion side of things, but I do wear it to work sometimes because of the amplified scent. Sometimes I feel like the outfit's hitting and I need the perfume to hit hard. So this is the jasmine, and I told y'all most of my scents are going to be jasmine, amber, those deep warm scents. It's a little fresh though. Like, they described it as like lemon dipped in a glass. I don't even know what that means, but I feel it though. It has a slight floral undertone and a little citrusy. I feel like the jasmine is the heaviest part, and I've kind of gotten to how the girlies have been like layering their scent, essentially taking a perfume and putting it on top of like a vanilla oil or some oil of choice. And I feel like that's what this jasmine does in the Hidion. Like, it has all the floral aspects to it, but deep down jasmine is the heavy hitter there. The second scent profile is a Broxin with a little TM at the top. It's a 50s staple, and this one was interesting. This is derived from scariol, which is a natural constituent of clary sage, okay? So pretty much how they described it is that it's essentially clary sage, but originally this was derived from an excrement from sperm whales. That's that rich people stuff. I don't know what the hype is. Actually, I do know what the hype is. I get the hype. I get it. It has an amber profile. Y'all know I love that. It's dry and woody mineral facets, but it's best described as amber woods. And I think that's perfect. Like, if you've ever smelled like cashmere woods, amber woods, any of those kind of scents, it's exactly that, where it has that woody, that masculine scent to it, but they top it off with that really sweet, deep amber. After that is cedar, because Baccarat does lean heavy into the wood smells. So it has cedar, specifically 3 types of cedar: Virginia cedar or Juniperus virginiana. Okay, they describe it as the smell of sharpening a pencil. And as a teacher, I'm like, that's accurate. That's accurate. It's woody, it's dry, it's slightly spicy, and it's creamy. Now that one kind of got me to creamy, but I get it because it's not that sharp like lumber smell that you smell in Lowe's or something. It's specifically like sharpening a pencil, where it's like that warm wood smell. Then they have Texas cedar, which, okay, you see it. Love a little Texas moment, okay, which is just dry. We all know that. You've been to Texas, you know that. And then Atlas cedar, which is described as animal and leathery. Not familiar with that one, but I'll take their word for it. On the leathery side, I can relate. And then saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. I did not know that. I thought that was very interesting. And it's coined red gold, so obviously Baccarat was going to include it. Safranol is used to imitate saffron because the saffron in natural saffron is highly allergic. So they essentially have to create an alternative. And that's what a lot of these scents are. That's what makes them more affordable, because back in the day, the things that Baccarat uses would have made the perfume even more expensive than it already is. This is described as bitter, slightly metallic, and leathery. It has a tarred facet to it. Again, some of this jargon is over my profiling, but this is what they say, okay? They pretty much say they use the saffron layered on top of the scent to break the citrus. Like, this is the extra masculine part to break down some of all that floral, and I think that's what draws me to Baccarat so much. It's often associated with oud-based perfumes and amber accords, and the next perfume I'm going to do is a oud. Oh my god, it is my hands down favorite. Like, Baccarat is so nice. It's definitely giving expensive, but she's not even my favorite. We will get there, okay? The occasions that I would use Baccarat for are like date nights, black tie events, special events, really any 5-star experience that you are planning on. Yeah, Baccarat is your girl for that. It's long lasting. It's very, very strong when you first apply it. Like, because I'm talking so much and I just sprayed it on, like, it's in my mouth. Like, I'm giving Baccarat right now. It's one of those scents that when you wear it, if you know, you know. People automatically turn their heads to like, oh, you got on Baccarat. Oh, that smells great. Oh, I know that scent. Like, she's a very recognizable scent, and I can genuinely say until the very end of my day, I smell like Baccarat. Like, I smell like Baccarat. And again, this is not the parfum. This is just the eau de parfum. It's like, she's that girl. She's that girl. 5 out of 5 from me on this one. I feel like Baccarat's one of those, I will cherish it. I've now had it since August and I've used it a lot, but like, I still have so much more to go. So I do think it's worth the money. That might be easy for me to say considering it was gifted to me. I don't know, but honestly, if this bottle cracked and I had to go repurchase it, I'd do it. So my son is coming back. I'm gonna end the video here. Again, if you want the shortened version of this, go check out my Instagram. I will leave it down in the description. And yeah, the next step I'll do is a Dubai-based perfume. I think if you like Baccarat but do not want to spend Baccarat money, this will be a great alternative for you. So until next time.